Hello, it's Roger over at Bear Behind, and I'm accepting a little risk today. The bees were flying a little bit ago, but just in the hour it took me to kind of get my act together, they've reduced their flights already, so I think they're buttoning up for the night. But I want to do a couple of quick things. I want to check the white hive here to see if the Squished queen is laying, and I'm going to check the red hive right beside it to see if they were able to raise a queen. And I'm a little early on that, but I should be able to at least see a virgin queen or the beginning of some eggs for her. If both of these or either one of these has failed, I'm going to introduce a queen from one of my nukes into both hives, and hopefully I can have the girls and the nukes replenish and make that work. I may not do the queen today, but at least it'll give me an idea of where I'm sitting, so I don't have to wait till the weekend. One of the drawbacks with this box, I'm not sure why it's this particular box, maybe it's just the size, but the inner cover always sticks on it. Well, it looks like they've been using the feed, so that's a good sign. Let's see what we got going on. Well, maybe they're working it. I don't see a lot of cleanup, but I do see them crawling on there. Oh, pigweed. I know, you don't really want me here. It's awful late in the day. So, we'll use a little smoke. So it is late in the day, and it's late in the year. And I probably wouldn't be doing very much of this otherwise. Again, they're kind of crawling on there. Not a lot of work being done on this comb. So let's see if Her Majesty is doing some laying. If we got eggs, we're going to leave her be. If not, I'm afraid I probably will have to terminate her and then combine this hive with a nuke or introduce the queen. So we're getting a little closer to where the nest was. Got some storage. To be expected, especially when feeding. Heavier. So we got some capped brood. Lots of pollen. Hopefully you can see that. Got some baby bees popping out. That's a good sign. We want eggs. We want eggs showing that she's laying. We had young larvae the last time we checked on it. I don't see her. Do you do? I don't. So she was alive last week when I looked. Just going to take this into the sunshine and see if I can see any eggs in there. Alright, I don't see eggs. I don't see any other brood other than maybe. No, I don't see any other brood other than what's capped. And that kind of makes sense if she wasn't laying, not to have. I'll keep looking. Wow, nope, I don't even see where she could be. But what I need to do is I need to find her if she's in here at all. And she may have finally died. So I'll just double check again. She's unmarked, but she was a big girl. I don't see her anywhere in here. And there's only 2 frames of bees, so I don't think she'd been gotten too much further. So we're queenless. So this hive, we definitely need to combine or add a queen. And just from their size, I think I'm going to combine. It doesn't make a lot of sense to try to add brood. And then have them raise a queen this late. As tempted as I am and as greedy as I am, I don't think that'd be the best call. I'm going to look one more frame over just to make sure that I think she's done for. Either they took care of her or she couldn't survive. Alright, so we are queenless here. Not expected, but a little too bad nonetheless. Alright, let's take a look at the red hive and see if we've got any evidence. If they are extra ornery, I am just going to leave them be, pardon the pun, because it is kind of late in the day. So here's my challenge. They're a lot smaller than I thought they would be at this point. So they are a small colony, and they are small because they've been queenless for so long. So the good news is they may not be terribly ornery as I dig in here and look to see if we got a layer. So, certainly keeping some stores. Lots of pollen. Got some drones kicking around. That's a good sign, I think. I hope. Alright, this is the wrong side, but we'll put it here because Mr. Smart Guy put all his other stuff on the other side. I know. You don't want me to be here. Alright, lots of nectar. It's a great sign. At least they're bringing stuff in anyway. Wow, this stuff's glued down. I'm sure that'll go well. Alright. Other than shaking the girls up, trying to get this stupid thing undone, I've got a practice cell, no eggs, no larvae. Can you see how they're so runny? We'll see. Now I did shake them up real bad just then, so I'm not accusing the whole hive just yet. These frames are wicked light. Lots of pollen. Oh, and I have got a queen. You see her running around there? So I am not going to mark her. She's young enough. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put her back and leave her alone. Alright, girlies, get down. I won't squish anybody. I'm definitely not adding a box, that's for sure. And because I can't not screw with bees, I'm just making sure that I have full frames of honey in here to discourage Her Majesty from laying. smoker's going well. And this will just keep me from, or help me not have to use the queen excluder down on this. Kind of like messing with Sasquatch. And I could just put a queen excluder on, but I'd like to give these girls a chance just to fill it normally. That smoker's changed direction. Alright. These girls have been open enough. You've been good sports. Let's get you buttoned up. Well, the only constant thing is change. Both my other hives are incredibly strong, and I think I am going to risk taking capped brood and putting them in my little queenless hive here. They are so strong, I think they can do well with it. And if I take a couple of frames from each one, that'll give me about 30 days. And it would be beginning of September, so it's going to be kind of a risk, but I think it's worth the risk, and then I can use them to equalize if I end up in trouble, because those are just a couple of double boxes, double deeps each, and I think I can steal from them. And when I open them up, they're just overflowing with bees. As we saw earlier, this little white box was queenless. This was the queen that I had squished. I saw her, but today when I looked, I could not see her, nor were there any eggs, nor pearly white brood. It was just all capped brood. So what I was going to do was I was going to combine this hive with one of my other two, either this white one, this little white one here, or this green one here. And when I got into those hives, they were pretty chock-a-block full. The green one wasn't quite as full as I thought it was going to be, but it still was pretty good, with definitely a laying queen. This little white one, I could not find the queen, but I did find eggs, so I'm cautiously optimistic, and we'll keep an eye on this one in another couple of weeks. So what I did was I took eggs and capped brood, and I fortified this little hive here. And my thought process was I didn't want to break up one of my double nukes. Had both this hive and the red hive been queenless, I would have just broken up a double nuke and combined them. But because the red hive was able to raise her own queen, she should start laying shortly, I decided to give this one more go, so that she's got full frames of comb, she's got feed, and we're just coming in the aster season. So it might be a little small, but I'm going to see if I can try to get it through the winter, and hopefully she'll start laying here in about 30 days, which would be about towards the end of August, early September. That's kind of pushing it, but I think it's worth the experiment.